You touch upon a really interesting topic, one that we've had multiple times before, and something that you continue to teach me in my life is this duality between intuition and critical thinking. And you seem to navigate that space extraordinarily well, something that I'm still trying to gain my footing in. So I'd just like to know, in the mind of Jenna, when you're in your space, the one that you're in right now, what's it like for you to navigate that intuition, but also know consciously what it is that you're doing? Because this is an ode to free will. So does it
Yeah.
somewhat inspire a sense of conscious choice, or is free will simply based on intuition?
Wow, that is an extremely difficult question to answer because the fact that I do things intuitively is explicative of the fact that I don't think about them. So I've never actually consciencized any
Yes.
of this. I've never sat there and thought, you know, what is the best practice? How do I find a middle ground between the two? I just do. But yeah, I mean, very, very tough to answer how to navigate between the two. I feel like it's just, I mean, intuition as a whole is a difficult concept to grasp and to explain. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's like quote unquote scientifically proven and can be explained, but I definitely believe that it's a thing and we embody it when we're in a state of flow. But again, even that is very abstract, right? So um, I don't think that I conscientize sort of these actions between, okay, when am I going to use critical thinking and when am I going to use intuition? It's just very much perhaps a practice of, or at least to me personally, I believe that to be more in touch with your intuition and with your gut instinct, you have to be in touch with nature. And so that's sort of the story behind an ode to free will, is a play on words with an
Mm.
ode to nature and free will, because the concept of intuition, I think, lies between the, and we'll expand on that with free will, but it's also something that we gain and we grow through being in contact with nature. And so there's very much
Mm. Love that.
this this polarity and this duality between nature and intuition, and I want to evoke that through my paintings, and I want them to be sort of almost like a wake up call for people to be more in touch with nature, to get that connection with mother nature, to spend more time in nature. um, and so yes, an ode to free will is kind of a call to spend more time in nature, and with that we naturally gain more intuition because we're more in touch, we're more grounded, we're more in touch with who we really are. and
Yeah.
um, and vice versa. I think that intuitive people have a call for nature, they need nature. An anecdote on that is I recently was in Dubai, which, as we know, is an artificially made city in a very arid
Yeah.
uh, type of nature. It's a desert. And so a lot of the time spent indoors or in buildings. And when you're not, you're sort of surrounded with a barren landscape. There's no trees per se. And even though it is nature and it has absolutely its own beauty, um, it's very different. Well, at least specifically for me, who's grown up, in an equatorial, very, I mean, jungle, rainforest type of landscape,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
almost crave that and I need that. And it was very evident to me when I was in Dubai because I was I was really I was really craving it. And then funnily enough, I walked into a bookstore and the first book that I picked up was called Losing Eden by Lucy Jones, which I haven't gone through enough to be able to fully recommend it yet, but very interesting read on the need for people to spend time in nature for the psyche, to release serotonin, to find a happy state.
Yeah.
And it's very scientific. It's a scientific read on, going into the details of how our pores open up to absorb micronutrients in the atmosphere, which reacts symbiotically with our bodies to release serotonin, to be happier, for overall like mental health. So it's quite interesting how, how close of beings we are to nature and how we need it and how we interact with it. The negative ions of the ocean and things like
For
that. So
sure.
yeah, really interesting.